Hey there, welcome back to Become a Rezolve Expert in 10 Easy Steps. We're on to lesson 8 now. We're looking at a fascinating area of functionality of Rezolve called acts. So what are acts? Well, they're a type of engagement. We've looked at engagements already, the way you can scan a watermarked image or watermarked audio or a QR code and be redirected to a landing page. But the crucial thing about acts is they don't involve any payment. When you redirect people to your act page, they don't have to enter a payment details or delivery address or anything like that. All they need to do is supply information that you've asked for. So they're non-transactional. There's no money changing hands. All your consumers are doing is supplying information. I'm sure you can imagine there's a huge number of uses for this. You can have a page just simply where people register for more information, maybe reserving a time slot or booking a table. Maybe you want to set up a competition and have people enter that way. Or maybe you want people to subscribe to your mailing list. Whatever you want to do, acts are a great way of engaging with customers without taking money and having them just supplying information. So creating acts is done via the engagements area, and you create your engagement. As you've already seen, you use a type of act, and when you do that you can get to enter more information about the landing page that you want to direct people to. So you're not directing people to a product, you're directing people to a landing page, and people have to enter the title. For the landing page, you have to enter the title, you enter then a short description like a subtitle, you can enter a more in-depth description, add an image, and also add your custom fields. And those are the custom fields are the questions you want to ask your customers. And you can edit that act landing page at any point via the engagements editor. And when you've created your act, when you've set up your engagement, you put your engagement triggers in, and you set up the landing page all at the same time, and you end up with a page that looks a bit like this, where you just simply ask some questions, people slide the Act Now slider, and that's it. That's all they do, and they've submitted that information to you. And those questions, as you say, are controlled by custom fields, which we've already looked at in the area of sort of simple options. We also looked at them a bit when we talked about products, but they're a way of simply adding extra fields, whether text, options, or a date field, where people can fill in information, they submit it to you, and that act is then submitted. They're a very powerful thing. So let's have a look now at creating an act within the merchant portal. Okay, so here we are in the merchant portal, and I've gone to engagements, manage all engagements, then I've created a new engagement, as you've seen already, but this time the engagement type I want to use is act, and that's very important, as we'll see. So the engagement name, we're going to set up a form for signing up for tennis lessons. So we'll just put a little name in here. This is just for your reference, this isn't shown to the users. Engagement description, an engagement for tennis lessons. So that's the basic details of the engagement. Now the trigger is what we want people to scan in order to get to our act, and we're going to do an image, and the one we're going to use is a nice little advert we've got for tennis lessons here, which I prepared earlier. And watermark strength we'll use will be 5, that'll be fine. Auto renew, yes. Those settings look good. Now, I've already started filling in these fields down here. These are the fields for the landing page itself, the engagement landing page. So this is the page that customers will be taken to once they've scanned that advert with their Rezolve enabled app. So title for that, we've set up. Short description, that's a little subtitle. In-depth description, that's the sort of more details there. We've got a little product image ready to go, and that's the image for the actual act page. And then we've got the custom fields. Now these are the questions. So I've already set up one, which is the preferred time slot. So this is the, with a few options. I think we'll add another one now. Let's add a new question which is ability level. And this one's also going to be a drop-down list. And we're going to add beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So there we are. So those are our questions. This is all the everything else we want for our Act landing page. There's our trigger. And I think that all looks good to me. So I'm going to save that. And that is going to watermark that image. And it's going to create my Act landing page. And once that's all done, we can scan it and have a look at it within the app. So let's save it. And there we go. The engagement has been successfully created. So what we're going to do now is view it. To do that, we go to View. And now we can download. And we can just pop it open. There's the advert. So now let's scan it and look at it via the Rezolve enabled app. Okay, so let's do some scanning then. So I'm now the consumer. On the left hand of the screen there, you can see my scan screen, and on the right hand side is the asset that we're going to scan. So let's bring over the phone. And there we go, there's our act. There's our image, our title, our subtitle, or short description, a longer description there as well. And most importantly, there are the 2 questions that we've asked. And both these questions are required, so I need answers for them from the consumer before I'll allow them to submit the act. So as a consumer, I go in and I can choose my preferred time slot. I want an evening session. And my ability level, these are the options we added. We'll say beginner. That's all confirmed, and I can now slide Act Now. And that act is submitted to the merchant portal. So submissions appear as in the transactions part of the merchant portal, and they appear in their own list separately from orders. They have a status of submitted rather than processing. And that status appears in the merchant portal and also within the app when you look at those act submissions via My Activity. And there's no processing to be done on those. All you can really do is view them, check the details, and export them. And everything in the act submissions area is geared around exporting. So you can filter the list, adjust, get the responses to the acts you're interested in, and then you can export them all with a click of a button. So let's take a look at that now within the merchant portal. So here we are in the merchant portal. So I'm acting now as the merchant again, and to view my submitted acts or my act submissions, I go to transactions, and so here these are all the sales, these are all to do with the orders, the transactions where people have paid money, but I'm not interested in those, so I come down here to view submitted acts, and this brings up a list of all the acts that have been submitted to my merchant portal. Now this is a development environment, so there's a lot there, and it's quite maybe a little bit difficult for me to see which are the ones that are relevant for me, so I am going to use a filter. I'm going to filter this list just to show me my sign up for tennis coaching act submissions. So just for the one I created in this exercise. And there we go, that's brought in that, and that's brought in all the details there too. And what I want to do now is, I could just view the details of that within the merchant portal, but what I'd like to do is export those. So I go to Export, Export, and then those details are saved as a CSV file. And most interestingly on this, I'll just zoom in a bit, go right over here to the right, and here are the, as well as getting the information about the customer and their name and the email address and so on, you can also get all the information that they've supplied with the Act. So you get all those submitted, and all those are in the import file. And that's Acts. I hope you found that useful. You've got some exercises to try if you've got access to a merchant portal, or you've got a little quiz to do if you don't. But I hope you found this section useful, and I hope you've got all sorts of ideas about how to use Acts for your business.